Hello everyone, my name is Shannon Pierce and I'm going to be doing a presentation on mobile commerce and some of the issues surrounding mobile commerce. So to start off, I guess I should explain what mobile commerce is. Basically, it's the buying and selling of goods and services through wireless handheld devices, such as cell phones, tablets, personal digital assistants, and other mobile devices like that. While I said that it consists of buying and selling of goods, there are other functions that go into mobile commerce besides those two actions of buying and selling. For example, there are mobile banking platforms, payment transfer functions, there's advertising, and other things like this where consumers and businesses are communicating with each other about their offerings and about how they can serve what the consumer wants. And that's kind of represented by that picture in the right-hand corner. It shows all these different functions besides just purchasing. There's communication and idea sharing and all these other things that feed into mobile commerce. So mobile commerce is becoming more popular in recent years because it provides many benefits that traditional e-commerce methods cannot replicate. So some of these benefits include accessibility, which is basically the fact that so many people nowadays have cell phones and can access the internet through their mobile devices because of how advanced these phones have become and how it's become more affordable for people to buy them and use them for themselves. Secondly, commerce is convenient. When we're out and about and we don't have Wi-Fi, for example, data allows us to surf the internet without a Wi-Fi signal. Not to mention, you have the internet in your pocket in the form of a mobile device wherever you go. And that kind of feeds into the next benefit. Commerce is an on-the-go it supports an on-the-go experience. Now more than ever in this day and age, people are very busy. There's always something that we're trying to accomplish, something we're trying to do, and sometimes it's hard to just sit back and plan what you're going to be doing in terms of purchases and things like that. So having a phone where you can surf the web in your downtime at any time you see fit is very, very convenient and very advantageous for a consumer. So I thought it would be useful to talk about a successful mobile commerce story. In China, actually, there's this very, very successful app called WeChat, and it's kind of the paradigm of what a successful mobile commerce venture would look like. We have nothing like this in the United States, but companies are trying to work on making something of similar value that WeChat is in China. So WeChat is a smartphone application that can do many things. It started out as a social networking communications application, and it spread to doing all these things such as allowing consumers to buy movie tickets, pay bills, transfer payments, even call taxis and make doctor's appointments. There's many things that this app can accomplish, and it connects people with businesses and with firms to help foster and maintain a relationship between these groups. So this is kind of what mobile commerce is all about. It's bringing consumers and businesses together to accomplish the end result of customer satisfaction and activity within a firm. So WeChat has become very successful in China, and because of this, in part, China's mobile commerce actually takes up 50% of its e-commerce activity. So 50% of the e-commerce that occurs in China is actually from mobile devices. This is a much larger number than what we see in the United States, where in 2015 only 30% of the total e-commerce sales came from mobile devices. So when you have such a strong and convenient and integrated app such as WeChat and other very popular applications, then this promotes network effects. This promotes users coming in and trusting this technology and using it for their own purposes. Lastly, I just wanted to mention that although mobile commerce has a lot of potential and that there's a lot of effort going into harnessing its capabilities for businesses, there are plenty of challenges as well. So for challenges, a lot of companies have to consider display complications when it comes to mobile commerce. To start off, display complications are a problem because when you think about mobile commerce, most of mobile commerce actually occurs through cell phones. And cell phones generally have very small, tiny screens, and you have to be able to format web pages and applications to fit these screens in a way that's not user-end friendly, in a way that promotes users to use the web page and the application, that makes it not too difficult to maneuver it and more visually appealing on a phone. So a lot of companies who are investing in mobile commerce need to look into the display. What is this interface going to look like when a consumer uses this application or this website? Is it going to be easy to maneuver? Is it going to be visually appealing? Is it going to fit the format of that small screen, the demand that that small screen requires? So that's one thing to consider. Another challenge is security and privacy, and this is probably one of the most important challenges for mobile commerce. Security and privacy has always been a huge issue with any technology. There's countless examples of firms who have their data breached and private information is stolen by hackers and all sorts of things that cause consumers to be concerned about what their information is, whether or not their information is going to be safe in the coming years. So when it comes to mobile commerce, there are applications and services that require consumers to put their information, such as credit card information, phone numbers, addresses, into applications and saved on mobile web pages. And with these requirements, consumers are less likely to use these services because they don't trust that mobile commerce has what it takes to secure their information and keep it away from bad eyes, such as hackers and anyone who can use their information for bad purposes. So the reality of it is actually that it is relatively safe compared to traditional means of doing business, such as using a regular credit card versus a mobile form of payment. But this is just something that companies over the years are going to have to work on, is instilling some form of trust in consumers to be more willing to use their mobile offerings that require consumers to put in information. Another challenge is internet speed. This is really important because when we're on the go, when we're using our phones to do any kind of searching or any kind of communication with businesses or interaction with businesses, whether that be in a web page or an app, our experience could end just based on the fact that the Wi-Fi signal is not very good, or maybe it's taking too long to load a web page. These things are important because what could have resulted in a mobile commerce sale might actually result in having a consumer drop what they were doing because of network complications. So it's very important for companies to make web offerings that are very low in demand when it comes to internet speed and internet signal. It's good to make offerings that are easy to load and of very low demand when it comes to the internet. So that's very important. We want to make sure that consumers are staying on these pages and on these applications because it's not too much for their phone to run them in certain environments where the signal might not be as good. And lastly, mobile advertising is a challenge because the environment and the conditions of using mobile devices are not quite the same as a traditional desktop method or laptop method. And as a result, advertising needs to confront that and address that. So with mobile commerce, there's push notifications that businesses can send to consumers. There's coupon codes and other ways that businesses can interact with consumers. And so it's good for managers to keep track of what forms of advertising are reaching their consumers most effectively and resulting in sales and positive growth for the company. So these are all things that need to be considered in the coming years if mobile commerce is going to continue to grow. And if managers are able to constantly improve upon these, perhaps one day we will see something of the magnitude that WeChat is in China. And perhaps someday mobile commerce will overtake the entire e-commerce realm in terms of sales and garnering in profits for companies.